Hello, everyone. This is Gruesome Herzog, a.k.a. Scott Geider, with my co-host John Gilling. We have a very special, pleasant young lady, a talented actress, Danielle Lozeau. Danielle, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. Thanks, John, for getting in contact with Danielle.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How is the UK?
Cold.
Oh, we'll send that over to LA. We need some of that.
Okay, right.
That was a nice answer, wasn't it, Danielle? Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Sorry. Right, obviously, as we said, born in Massachusetts, and you studied ballet from a young age, and won lots of awards, and you gave all that up for acting.
I did. I think I broke my mother's heart a little bit, because she was all for the dance. She was the dance mom, not like the show dance moms. Well, there's a fine line, I think, between that and my mom, but she was really like, as a prima ballerina, and then I was like, I want to be an actor, and she's like, okay, so how do we do that? Because we had no clue how to do any of the acting industry. We knew dance, so, but I did a little gymnastics in between, so.
Oh, cool.
Right. And, do you miss ballet?
I do a little bit. I mean, it's always nice. Like, I've taken classes here and there, different places that I've lived. I've gone to certain dance companies and taken classes, and, like, of course I dance in my own house. But I do miss the music. I do miss the movements, and the only thing I don't miss is the competitions, because it was like you're working 6 days a week straight, hours, grueling hours, too, as a dancer when you were doing competitions, and just I kind of got burnt out as a kid really quickly.
That's what I was going to say. The discipline of a ballerina must be quite difficult, having to watch what you eat and always exercising and practicing. But as your experience with ballet, have you been able to bring that into your film career at all? Has it helped you in any way?
It really honestly has, because I have a great work ethic, and they always say dancers or ballerinas are the best people to hire in a business, because they know discipline, they know how to represent themselves extremely well, and they know how to adapt to a lot of different things. I mean, ballerinas are very, very, they're chameleons. They can do anything. So I definitely feel like I've been able to bring that into my film career, with just being able to do and get work on my own and self-promote myself and get up every day. And it's, my work, as soon as my feet hit the floor, is my business, of acting. So it's definitely helped a lot.
Right. Obviously, you've done a lot of film work, as Bruce was saying earlier, a lot of TV work. You've seen the Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Yeah, I did that. Oh my goodness, how many years ago? I did that in like 2000. I feel like it was so long ago, 2008. Because it's now going to be 2014. But I did that in 2008 in New Mexico. And it was one of my first TV credits, legit network TV credits that I ever had as a co-star. So that was really cool. Got to work with David Nutter, who was the director of the pilot episode, Lena Headey, Summer Glau, who I, as a ballerina, looked up to for her, because she's also a prima ballerina. She did dance for years before she started to become an actress. So,
wow.
Yeah, she was kind of like a really cool role model, really down to earth, extremely nice, and definitely gave some information out. So it was really nice meeting her.
And the Blockbuster that you starred in was Legion, Paul Bettany, excellent British actor. I don't know if you've seen him in. Have you seen him in the film Gangster Number One?
No.
No, that was a few years before Legion, and he really showed that he really is a class actor. So you got to work with him on Legion. Was that fun?
Oh, Legion was amazing. It was one of my, I think, by far one of my favorite film experiences. We shot in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico. They built an entire gas station for this, like gas station restaurant set for this movie. And I was there the day that they were shooting the grandma climbing the walls. I was there for the days they did the Doug Jones when he was the Candyman spider coming into the building, and it was crazy to see that stuff, and then also do my stuff that I had coming through the window and all that stuff, and it was just really, I mean, it freaked me out. Like I remember, I think it was like a couple days into shooting Legion, and they ended up having Doug Jones, and it was a scene where he grows the legs and he starts to crawl like a spider, and he did an excellent, because Doug Jones is really tall. He did such a good job of this, like, crawling like a spider. I was, like, kind of like nerved in my own skin. I was like, oh, my God, this is so freaky. But it was so cool to see that kind of stuff. And an 80-year-old woman climbing, she actually did climb the walls with harnesses.
Wow.
This, like, 70 or 80-year-old woman actually did those stunts, and I thought that was incredible. I was like, I want to be that age and still doing this like that. Like, I thought that was so cool.
You know, there's a film here that dates back to 2006, and the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of the cast members are friends of mine, and that's Pretty Dead Things in 2006.
Yeah, Richard Griffin.
Yeah, I just realized that when I looked. William DeCuff is a good friend of mine. I interviewed Patrick Pittu a while ago, and Caleb Emerson, and what was it? Now, I've talked to Richard Griffin, and he seems to be a up straight, cool dude. What was it like to work that young in a film with talented people like William DeCuff, and Richard Griffin?
It was my first lead role in a movie that I've ever done at that point, and it was an amazing film experience to be like, that was my first lead role in a movie.
Wow.
That I loved it. I loved the process with everybody. I had such a great time on set. The cast and crew, we all stayed under the same roof. We stayed with we call our house mother. So I would never change that experience for the world. It was such a great film. I mean, working with William DeCuff, I knew him, I think previously we've done short films and we've crossed paths a couple times. So it was really great to be working with him again because he's such a fantastic actor. He was really great. He's so dedicated to his craft.
Oh my God! You know what? I just realized something. When I had phone conversations with William DeCuff, I think your name did come out in the phone conversation. Come to think of it.
Really? He wasn't talking crap about me, right?
No, he's
then I got to go talk to him.
No, he was talking highly of you, and that's right. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing when I talk to people. I absorb so much, and sometimes I tend to forget. But he did bring you up in a conversation about you being a young actress in that movie. Fantastic. I'll be damned.
Yeah, I just turned 18 when we did that movie.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah. He thinks highly of you, of your talent. So that's great.
I love William. He's so great. And I worked with him and Richard. I love Richard.
He's a trip.
And I love East Coast people for this one fact. People are so brash, but in such a good way. They don't lie to your face.
Right.
They don't sugarcoat anything. And I loved Richard's his process for everything. If he didn't like something, he did. I don't like that. Let's go back and let's redo something. And I really like that because you get a lot of directors like, yeah, that's okay, I can work with that. In post, or do you want to work with that right now?
Right.
How do you want to do this? So I really liked his approach, and he's done so many movies now. I mean, he did so many before Pretty Dead Things, where he's already had a pretty good name when I worked with him, and now his movies do really, really well with the community, and he's got such a following that I think he's doing really well for himself. I'm really proud for him and his company. I think that's awesome.
Exactly. exactly. Now, the next film, and then I'm going to let John take over. This movie was a pretty much of a smash. It's top 5,000 on IMDb. I have not seen it, only because I'm not really a Jessica Alba fan. Apologize for that. So I tend not to watch them movies right away, but The Eye in 2008. Hey, look, I'm honest. I'm just, I'm a big independent guy, so sometimes the higher-end movies I don't get to right away, because, I kind of enjoy the independence, the low-budget quality of a film, because, think about it. The less money you have, the more your talent has to perform, and I think you find a really great talent on low-budget films. That's just my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I love watching movies.
But you were in The Eye.
Yes, I was in The Eye.
Uh-oh.
With Jessica Alba.
Now, when you say that you were in her eye, does she have a big eye socket or what?
Yeah, very big eye socket.
I'm sorry.
I crawled inside and stayed there for the entire shoot.
Oh, there you go.
It was a very comforting eye socket. Very pretty, very beautiful. I don't think I would have wanted to be in anyone else's eye socket. No, but she's literally gorgeous in person. It's kind of dehumanizing because you look at her and go, oh, wow, that's great. She's really pretty without makeup on. Perfect. Can I get makeup? Because I really need someone to attack this mug, please, before I step in front of her. But she kept to herself. She didn't want any type of contact with any of the other, smaller roles. We didn't talk, we didn't chat, we didn't get into details. We had makeup together, but we never talked. It was kind of the makeup artist. We're like, just don't talk to her. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, got it. I guess it's like when you have money. That's why I love indie films, because everything is so intimate. Everyone's there, obviously not for the money, and they're there because it's out of passion. They believe in the story, they believe in their actors, and they believe that it's so far. And that's where I find my niche is more indie films, but it's great to do the big budget films because they help fund, they bring in the cheddar for you, but it's kind of hard because, indie films is where my heart is, but, big films get you out there and help get you bigger indie films, so.
Yeah, but, it just goes to show, I don't personally know her. I just have, it's weird. Do you know how you have an instinct about people, even though you haven't met them, you can just tell an instinct? And just by me telling you that before you told me that just proves my point. With independent films, you, myself, whoever, when you are in a film, it's all passion. You love the art, and it's like a family unit. But then when you start getting, look, I'll be honest right now, Jessica Alba is not as big as she thinks she is. Let's be up and front honest. I've met bigger names like Sybil Danning and Meg Foster and Dee Wallace, and they act normal. They treat you like a human being. You know what I mean? So it's basically boils down to the person's persona of who they think they are. Bottom line. So.
Yeah, because even Adrian Palicki, who was in Legion,
yes.
Remember, because I shared a trailer with Charles F. Dutton, but we didn't sit in the same couch. They had tandem trailers.
Right.
But the trailer in front of me was Adrian Palicki, and I walked by her, and she spiked up a conversation with me, even though I have no eyebrows, I look like death. But she was just so easy to talk to, and she talked about her getting into the business and how she thought when she first moved to LA that she was going to make it overnight, and it was a harsh reality for her. And it was so refreshing to just have someone be like, this is how it is, and she says, but don't stop. Keep doing what you're doing. So
exactly, and keep them words in your head that we just told me. Keep that in your head because you go places.
I hope so. We'll see.
All right. Well, Johnny, it's your floor.
It's really
Here's
refreshing.
Johnny.
Here's Johnny. It's really refreshing to hear Daniel speak that way, because obviously we're both big fans of indie films. Everyone's dropping names here of people that they've met. I'm going to throw in Adrian Barbeau, and as I do every chance I get, and she was so down to earth. that she was lovely. But I wanted to go on to you got the Best Actress nomination at the Terror Film Festival for Red Hook Black.
No, that was actually for Garden of Hedon.
Oh, is it? Oh, you got the Best Actress nomination for Garden of Hedon.
Yes.
At the Terror Film Festival.
Yes. I'm really proud of that film, Garden of Hedon. It's directed by Kevin Kangas. It was shot in Maryland. It was very like a very sci-fi, supernatural type thriller horror. It's got like aspects of all different kinds of movies in it, and it was a fantastic. I still haven't even seen the movie yet, but it was a fantastic script, and I loved working on that project. It was one of my favorite indie films so far that I've worked on. Just like collaboration with Kevin and Richard Cutting, who plays the detective in the movie. Everyone just did a fantastic job.
Now, you said Terror Film Festival. Would that be the one in Philadelphia?
Yes.
That's funny that John brought that up because I'm going there in October.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going down there and, just show up. And they asked me to show up, so I'll be hanging around there watching some film and meeting with people, and who knows? That's funny. Great job, John. You're awesome.
On it.
I can't even get the film right.
No, don't worry. It's sad that, I can barely keep my stuff straight. I'm surprised that I was like, oh, wait, no, I know what term one was for.
Yeah, because, go ahead.
No, carry on, Gruesome.
No, go ahead. I can wait.
I was going to say, I watched the trailer for Devil Girl of Devonshire.
Yes, a short that I did.
It's not all on YouTube. I watched the trailer for it, and that looks really interesting.
It was. It was a short that was like a prequel to a feature that I don't know if they're going to do or not. But it was a really great project. We shot in Asheville, North Carolina, and Salt Lake City, Utah. So I got to jump on some roofs, kick some people, have a really cool Batgirl shirt on the entire time. It was really fun.
Oh, wow.
It was a creature feature. Like my first, I actually played a creature. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, I feel like my cool status, I feel like went up 10 points playing that role.
That's what I want to do.
And then as soon as it was done, it was like, oh, you're going back to you. We're decked down to 1. But, just because I was wearing the Batgirl shirt, that's all.
There you go. Well, this movie was mentioned, but I'm going to bring it up now. Red Hook Black in 2011. I've never seen this film. It's not a horror, it's a drama, but what was your experience like with Kyle, was it Kyle Fields?
Yeah, Kyle Fields and Victoria Negri.
Yes.
It was directed by Louis Landvar. It was in New York. We actually shot in Queens, Long Island, and Red Hook, New York. And it's kind of like people that are stuck in, kind of, I don't want to say the slums, because it's not really the slums, but they're kind of stuck. One has a lot of money, one family can barely pay for stuff, for, medicine for the family, and I'm kind of the niece that gets adopted into the family, and she falls in love with her uncle. It's a lot of incest. I do a lot of weird movies.
Well, you know what? So do I. So we have something in common.
My poor parents. They every movie they read, they're like, oh, Danielle, this has got a great emotional range. This would be really great for you. It's like me getting raped by a misogynist. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, I love it. My parents, oh my goodness. I have to tell this story because it makes me crack up inside. So my father is like very blue collar, middle class type of guy. He works, he's a machinist. And I went to go visit him because I was coming home to fly out to Pittsburgh to start The Other Side in June. And I went to his work to say hi because I had just flown in and I hadn't seen him yet because I only see him once a year. And one of his workers comes up to me and goes, hey, your dad just told me about that film that you did that you got raped in. And he said, it's a really great film. And I was like, looked at my dad like, what? My mom is just there like, Danielle, he's very proud of you. Oh my God. It's the kind of love that you can't replace, but it was one of those things where you're just like, oh, thanks, Dad. I'm so glad that all you people that you work with think I just got raped in a movie. Yay.
Well, you know that he's proud of you, so that's...
Oh, yes, yes. That's first and foremost.
That's kind of funny. The next couple films, I know they're in post-production or either or, but there's a movie I know you can't talk much about, but the first one is The Bell Witch Haunting. Found footage films are a dime a dozen. I mean, there's some really good ones, and there's some really waste of time ones. But this, from what I've been reading on it, seems very interesting. Are you allowed to, what can you speak of this film? I mean, of like how you got it or when it's going to be shot or however?
Yeah, we shot it in May, I believe. It's with Asylum Films, which put out Sharknado.
I love Asylum Films, yes.
Which put out Sharknado and
yep.
I cannot even Ghost Shark, I think.
Oh,
There's so many
them.
shark movies
Sand
that
Shark.
they put out, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was a great cast and crew. We did it. We shot for like a week and a half, I think. And it was a very fast-paced film. They were very professional crew to work with. Everybody there was so enthusiastic to work on this. It was such a fast project that it went by so fast that I feel like I don't remember a lot of it because it went by so quickly. But
yeah,
I hadn't seen it yet though, so I don't know.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. But like you said, when you have John, hold a minute. When you have so much fun and it goes so fast, that's a good thing. It's the ones that drag and it's hell is the ones that you don't want to remember, but that's a good sign. I'm really anxious to see that. I love Asylum Pictures. I love the Sci-Fi Channel. I don't care. I love those creature feature films. I don't care. I love them.
Oh, I do too. I'm a sucker for sci-fi. I have sci-fi, like literally, I watch the Bio Channel and Sci-Fi, and that's the only two channels that I watch on my TV. I don't watch anything else. Besides Ellen and me. She's got a really good guest on. Not Drake. I'm not a big fan of Drake. But yeah, I had like one of their films that Drew DeWalt did. I think it's Leprechaun's Revenge.
I had that movie.
Really good. It had Billy Zane in it and a girl that I know, Courtney Halverson.
Yeah.
They do really good stuff, and Drew DeWalt is the movie director. So
I got finished watching that one. I started that one last night. I'm a big sucker for Leprechaun movies and all that crazy horror stuff. I love that stuff.
Leprechaun scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Really?
My parents wanted to set up a trap, but I was like, if I set up a trap and we catch him, like, what do we do?
That's funny.
Like, I don't want to open this box. Like, so I'm always like paranoid, like as a kid, like, oh no, the box went down. It means he's under there. Like, what do I do?
Oh my God. What parents don't do? What parents don't do to their kids?
My parents ruined me when they watched Leprechaun with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
I was petrified as a child.
Oh God, me gold.
That creature. Oh, I couldn't do it. I was like, oh, this is so scary. He's a scary looking dude.
Oh, okay. All right, John. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I've through the magic of knowing, I actually did on Sunday view. What was it called? The Bell Witch.
The Bell Witch Hunting?
That's it. And you know, I love asylum films, and I can say now, gruesome, of all the asylum films, this has got to be the best that they've done so far.
Damn it, I missed it.
I'm not just saying. No, I sent you a message to say that. You
did say.
I watched this tonight, and it's definitely the best film that Asylum have done.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because your message said, I saw the bell and it was awesome. I said, what the hell is he talking about? Now I know what you meant.
It's, and you know, I mean, Danielle wouldn't know. On one of the first episodes, we said that these found footage films, you know, we're not all that impressed with it. This is totally away from the paranormal activity. But as soon as the film starts, you're into the action.
Right.
And it doesn't let up, and it is so well filmed. It's got some really great, obviously I always watch them in the dark when I can. It's got some really great jumps. The story's really good, and the acting is superb. Really, really enjoyed it. I've been doing long hours at work this week, but I've wanted to sit down and type out a review to post, because it's for one of the found footage is excellent.
Nice. Well, I'm going to check that out. I got to do a search, because I know they get released on TV, and then later on they come on the DVD. But the next one, John, and I'm going to ask Danielle about, is one of my buddies is in this film. It's called The Black Water Vampire. I'm not a vampire fan, but certain ones that I am. And when I read the story about this, it has my complete utmost interest. But you have one of my buddies in there, Mr. Bill Oberst Jr. Yeah,
he's great. He was awesome. He came in and did. He played our Raymond Banks, who was our imprisoned murder suspect, and he was great. He was great to work off of. He was just a sweet, all around hardworking guy, and I love when we get on set people that are like him, because it makes you feel like, oh, okay, so my work is going to be good because I know he's going to give me something.
Exactly. Yep.
He's fantastic.
I've known Bill, oh my God, since like 2010 when he first moved to Los Angeles after a film Dismal. So I was one of his very first interviews, and we've been in contact ever since. He's a swell guy. He's a cool dude. He's a passionate actor, and basically I want to mold myself after him. Just watching him perform, that's what drives me. A guy that started in the movies late because he's a theater guy. You know, he's a couple years older than I am, but for him, it's a passion. He's like a role model for me. So there you go, Bill.
Oh, yeah.
Your head's all big now if you listen to this, but you are an inspiration to me. So.
No, I mean, I totally look up to him as an actor, because I work the same way that he does. You know, he even said, like, the second that he puts his feet on the floor in the morning, he works, and I do exactly the same thing he does. I don't stop submitting. My mother laughs at me. She says, sometimes you roll around in the night and you're on your phone. I'm like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm sending to a job. And then you roll back asleep. And I love that Bill Oberst is the same type of driven guy, and it makes me feel like, okay, so all the hard work that I am putting into it isn't a full waste. You know, there are people that do the same amount of work and are going far. So, I mean, it just gives me a little bit of hope that my hard work will pay off at some point. So, but he's phenomenal.
Well, I can tell you one thing. It's not the same. You know, I've done 3 acting gigs, but I do a lot of voiceover roles for movies and stuff. You know, this summer alone, I got 6. You know, I mean, I might do them at home, but it's like I'm working a full-time job. Then I got to find out when they want the script done. You know, so I keep very busy, and I'm very passionate about what I do. But I know exactly how you feel. I mean, I just put myself on one of these sites that you find auditions and stuff for voiceover work. So I'm kind of excited about that because, you know, I can do certain things. You know, it's like me and John interviewed Cindy Maples. She's from Indiana, an actress, and a beautiful lady, a good friend. And she mentioned about a new film that's going to be filmed next year. And we did an interview and stuff, you know. I let John do the interview. And when the interview was over, I get a message, a friend request on Facebook. It was a director of a film that Cindy's talking about, and he noticed that I'm a voice actor. So, boom, Saturday, I had 2 promos to do. I knocked them out. I mean, just by being I did the way I think it was, and they loved it. So, you know, doing what I do and talking to you and talking to Bill, I learn a lot from just talking and my experiences, and I'm very excited for my future. I'm 45. I know I'm middle-aged, but I'm very excited about what my career can go. I really am. I guess I'm looking
You have
forward
a
to it.
fantastic voice. You have such a radio voice. Very
Thank you.
soothing.
Thanks.
I know. I'm probably when I'm going to hear this back, I'm like, oh my God, listen to this squeaky ass mouse.
No.
I feel like I sound.
Well,
So you have a really great voice
Well,
for
thank you.
voiceover work.
I'll cut this part out, but I think as far as interviewing somebody, I think you're the equal with Cindy Maples, because you have the spunk, you have the passion, and you don't mind joking around and having fun. And that's kind of people that I like to associate with, people like you, because you get it. It's a job, but it's not going to your head. Do you know what I mean? And I appreciate that.
I mean, if you can't honestly laugh about yourself and enjoy yourself every day, every minute of the day, then you're wasting your time. Like I laugh at myself every day. Like the other day, I screamed out loud. My shadow scared the living shit out of me when I was walking down the street. I mean, I cannot keep a straight face with the stupidest things that I do. And my friends are like, "You're just so funny," and I'm like, "I know, I'm pretty freaking hilarious." Because it's just little things that, like, I notice a lot of actors, they have to be so prim and proper when they do interviews. But I'm like, if you just be yourself, it's not that hard.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. You know,
Just don't stare a lot.
I'm going to let John talk, but there's one thing that I emphasize to people like John and Kevin Scott, some of my regulars on my other show that are relatively new at reviewing movies or interviews. And John can vouch. What I always told him, be yourself, okay? And when you do an interview or whatever, don't go down the road like these other people do, talk about sex and stuff on their shows, because when it's time to get somebody with big value, their people do research. And if they don't like what they hear, you can forget it. So I've always told John, be yourself, be real, and if you have passion for it, show the passion. It goes a long way. And John has come a long way. He's really opening up. He's starting to interview. He's doing reviews now. So I'm proud of John for what he's doing. And Kevin is just be yourself. Like you said, be yourself.
Can I have your accent, John?
Pardon?
Can I have your accent?
Accent?
I would. Yeah.
Born in London.
I'd get a ton more jobs if I had your accent.
Oh, I see. What do you mean, where's it from? You can have it. I was just about to say, and this might make you laugh, it might not. I can't stand the sound of my voice, so unfortunately, any podcast that we do, I can't listen to because of my voice.
I love it.
And then, as Gruesome said, last week we interviewed Cindy Maples, and like yourself, she was just so nice to talk to. And I tried listening to it, and I had to try as best I can to skip the bits that
you got to get over that, John.
Where I could hear myself. But anyway, I gave my thingy to someone else and said, like, have a listen to this lady, and see what you think of the interview. And they gave me my iPod back, and I said, what do you think? And he said, well, I think you've got the perfect face for radio.
You know, John, you're funny. But, you know, John, she's right. I mean, Gino and I have told you, you got the perfect voice for the radio. There isn't very many British radio hosts. There isn't hardly any that I've heard in the horror. So you are one, and probably the original, with the British accent like that. It's perfect. Don't worry. You got to get over that. Listen to yourself. I hate listening to myself because I'm tired of hearing myself, but I have to listen to it when I'm editing to make sure, you know, obviously to clean it up. So, you're fine. We love you, John.
Cheers. Thanks, Gruesome. Thanks.
So anyways, we're getting off track.
John's so sweet. Oh.
All this love might make this. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to put John in a snow globe and keep him forever. He's so sweet.
He is
so nice, honestly. The next film I really want to talk about, because I messaged Danielle the other night, because she sent me to look at some of these films, and there's one that's called The Murders of Brandywine Theatre, and I really want to watch it, but I know that after watching this is the type of film that could give me a nightmare. So do you want to talk a little bit about this film?
Yeah. So I remember you telling me that you didn't like ventriloquists or the dolls.
No, it's the dolls. It's not the ventriloquists, it's the dolls.
I was petrified of dolls as a kid at night. I had to turn them around. So I'm there with you. But this doll wasn't that creepy, to be honest. I mean, he was constantly being passed around, and Dan held the doll a lot. But I mean, I loved actually being able to work with the doll. I thought that was kind of cool. It was something I haven't done before. But oh my goodness, this film is so great. We shot in Ohio for the month of March with it was me, Dion Bahar, Martin Kleba, directed by Larry Longstreth. It had Dustin Reynolds in it, and I want to say Diamond Dallas Page, but it's Dallas Page.
I met him.
Cool. He's so cool.
He is.
Cool. Oh my goodness, I love that type of world. And Josh Cribbs was in it.
Yeah.
He had a cameo, but it's a great story. It's kind of a little bit of a dramatic story where a guy who's kind of a loser and is trying to become a comedic ventriloquist, and he's finding out that it's harder than he thinks because he's not letting himself open up, and this doll starts to talk, and he thinks that he's going crazy or has a split personality, so he sees a psychiatrist, and it kind of just starts to snowball from there, from this poor guy. And Mark Ordesky and James Fleming produced it. They did Frozen Ground and Lord of the Rings, so they definitely backed an amazing project. And from what I hear, it's amazing from them. The two of them said that they loved it. So
now that's on YouTube, correct?
Yes, that's the trailer that's on YouTube. I think it's just a teaser trailer. I don't know if they have the full-length trailer yet out.
Huh.
I'm not sure.
I think it was just a short trailer.
Yeah, I think it was just a teaser that they released.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm really hoping that film does well.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, it looks good. And the next one, shot in Chicago, The Glass House.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that one too.
Yes, it is actually not a remake of the Lili Sabowski movie. It's a political drama about people in society and having a kid, not wanting to have kids, not being able to have kids, or being pregnant at a really young age. So it's kind of like three people's lives intertwined through society's means of what children in life should be. And it's really dramatic. My character is 19 years old, and she's pregnant, and her boyfriend doesn't know, and she wants to fix the relationship. But I feel like it's so true these days, because I know so many girls that have gone out and the boyfriend has cheated or it never worked, so they think that having a family is going to fix everything. And it sometimes does, or sometimes it just makes it worse. And I think it depicts it so well on what reality is, of what's really happening to young women these days. Look at that teen mom on TV. Just what we need.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a really great drama-written piece that I shot in July in Chicago. It was hot, but it was a lot of fun. I got to work with a tarantula. I wasn't too fond of him, but as long as he was in the cage, we were friends. The second that he comes out, I'm on guard. Where is this fuzzball? Oh, he was so creepy. I hate spiders.
Well, the next
I
one.
them. Go ahead.
The next one that I don't think we talked about it yet, but the Murders of Brandywine Theater in 2014. Excuse me. You mentioned Dallas Page, and I didn't realize that Dallas Page was in this one. This obviously is already shot, correct? It's in post-production or something like that? Am I right?
That's the one with the ventriloquist.
Okay. See, Right. But one of my boys is in there with you. It's amazing how many... Rick Montgomery Jr.
Oh,
It's one of my boys.
nice. It's such a small world, isn't it?
I know, it's weird.
It's bizarre. It's really
Wow.
small.
Now,
But yeah, no, that was a great film.
you mentioned about ventriloquist. I've actually done voiceover work as a narrator for some ventriloquists. See, we have so much connections. It's weird.
I know. See, I've tried to do voices, but it looks horrible.
You know what? Maybe after the interview, we can all try and imitate John. What do you think?
Oh my God, I would love to. I love British accents.
Hi, mate.
Hello, mate. I think hello, mate is Australian, isn't it? Australian?
Well, they both use it, but yeah, like,
Yeah, oh, it's true. Cheerio.
yeah,
Got my knickers in a bind.
yeah, and Australians use that word, bloat.
Bloke, yeah.
John, does British use bloat too?
Bloat?
Yeah, it's friend.
Yes.
No, definitely not bloat. No.
So what do you use for friend? Just friend or chicken?
I don't have any friends apart from you, Gruesome.
You're funny.
I don't get to use those words. Yeah,
I've heard Keira Knightley say bloke before. And she's not Australian, right?
You're not thinking of bloke.
Bloke, that's it, bloke.
Yeah, B-L-O-K-E.
Yeah, bloke.
Yeah.
He's a good bloke. I'll have him in my film.
See, John.
See, they do use it.
See, his voice is so sexy, isn't it, Danielle?
It is. I mean, seriously, what woman does not like a British accent?
Really?
The second that you hear one at a bar, you're like, where is he?
Do you want to hear something good? Imitate Freddie, John.
No, I can't do it.
Prime time.
I can't do it, Gruesome.
No, you do it.
If I'm put on the, when I'm at work and I want to play up or whatever, I'll do a Dalek, and I'll do the Dalek for you one day. But you know that always gets a few laughs.
You're on prime time, bitch.
Yeah. What on a prime time, bitch?
See?
No, I can't do it. It has to be spontaneous.
Oh, I see.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, now
Yeah, it's awesome.
you mentioned this film earlier about shooting this summer called The Other Side.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it yet, right?
No.
Okay. All right, now I'm going to start over again, so I'll have to edit anyways. Danielle, there's a next film here that you shot called The Other Side, directed by Raymond Mongeli III, and, oh my God, Chris Niespoluski. I guess it's how
I think it's Nespadance. I'm so bad at those names.
That's too long.
It is. I dated a guy that was Greek in his last name, and I was like, wow. I didn't know people could have names that long.
You'll fall asleep by the time they get the name pronounced. But anyways.
No, that was a really great. It's along the lines of The Walking Dead and Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, wow.
Because
I'm interested.
It's got a lot of heart. People are starting to go missing in a small rural Pennsylvania town, and this guy's wife goes missing, and she should be on medication. She's dealing with a lot of psychological issues, and she just goes missing one day, and I'm her sister, and then I get involved because my character is kind of a hothead, and she thinks that he's doing everything wrong, so I need to step in because a man can never do anything right. And the story starts to unravel as to what's really happening with everybody and where they're going and what the mayor is doing that's causing it. So it's a really great story. It's got a lot of heart, and everyone was amazing to work with in Pennsylvania. I mean, people in the Midwest are like, in smaller towns, are like the nicest people to ever work with.
Right.
Like people in Ohio that I worked with, like people in Pennsylvania and Chicago. I'm like, we need more of you guys out in LA. Like, they're so nice, and everything's like such a co-collaboration with those people because they're so open to everything.
Right. Well, the next film, which there's nothing much on it. It's the newest one. The movie in 2014. Obviously, it's cast, but no cast characters. Is that because it wasn't done or it wasn't shot yet? I'm kind of confused on that one.
It's still filming.
Okay.
I shot last year on it. But we can't really talk about that one,
right.
Unfortunately.
That's what I thought.
What's the title of it?
The movie.
Oh, the movie. Yeah, I see that one. There is another film that I wanted to ask about, because the trailer doesn't really give much away, and it's The Misogynist.
Yes, Fangoria actually today just debuted the exclusive full trailer on Fangoria.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
So the new trailer is out. That is one of my most precious projects that I've shot this year, besides 5 other films. But this one, I just had, my character was just going through her life is falling apart. And it stars Jonathan Bennett, John Burdell, Eve Morale, me, Tracy Bergman, and it's amazing cast. I mean, a misogynist guru who teaches men how to treat women, and my character is kind of the butt of everything, that she's not even sure what's going on, and it kind of, everything falls around her, and it was painful. Like, I auditioned for this. I went through 2 auditions, and the last audition I was there for a couple hours for the callback, and my character is just in tears. I remember just by the last hour of the callback, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have a severe migraine when I get home, but I can't go home because I have a workshop. So I had to go to workshop, and I was like waterlogged in the face.
Right. Wow.
But it was, amazing role. I really, really got to stretch myself as an actor, emotionally, physically. My character everyone's kind of messing up around her, and she's the one getting everybody's mess.
Wow.
So, yeah, you have to check out the trailer. Fangoria just released it today, and it's amazing. We're really hoping for Sundance with this one.
Cool.
Everyone's crossing our fingers and toes. So.
Excellent. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, who doesn't love Jonathan Bennett from Mean Girls anyways? So, if you don't want to see my face, at least you can go see Aaron Samuels all grown up.
Jesus. Well, there's one more that it's a short film, but is it available 45 days? Is it available on YouTube or no?
Not yet. I have a copy and I've seen it, but I think it's doing film festivals right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a true story. The main actor in it, it's his true story of his girlfriend that was diagnosed with cancer, and they ended up breaking up because she kind of needed someone that could really be there for her, and he kind of, when the economy crashed, he lost everything, so he went to Tokyo or China, I forget which one it was, and to get all of his money back. And when he got back after a year, she was already moved on, and it's a really crushing story, and she's actually still going through treatments right now. I met her, who I played. It was kind of crazy, but I got to meet her, and she was an extraordinary, fierce woman. So.
Wow. That's, you have an amazing personality, an amazing career, and I can see a lot of bright spots for your future because you have the heart, you have the passion, and you love to have fun. That's what it boils down to. Life's too short to be serious all the time. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee.
And I like a lot of coffee, so.
Me too.
I'm at Starbucks like almost every day. I can't brew my own. It tastes like crap. Tried. I have a mini thing, and I think I brewed 1 cup this week. I'm like, oh God, what is that?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's that. I don't know, but
I drink a lot of coffee. Well, anyways, Danielle, is there anything else you would like to bring up before we let you go? Anything that we did not talk about?
I don't think so. I just booked the film today, but I can't talk about it, so I'm kind of at my moment. Like, oh, I have it, but I can't talk about it. I can't
I know.
release anything yet until they do. So.
I know, me too. I have a couple too I would love to talk about, but I can't. It sucks.
I know. It's horrible. You know what? This is like self-torture. I feel like I'm getting like the water drop test done. See how long I can stand it before I'm like, this is what I got. Like, I feel like they're just testing to see how long I can keep a secret, which is not very long. Because I buy Christmas gifts, and then, like, by the time I get home, I call the person, like, you have to come over. They're like, why? It's, like, October. I have to give you your Christmas gift.
That's
they're like,
funny.
are you serious, Danielle? Just come over. I can't hold it in anymore. Yeah, I'm the worst at keeping secrets.
Well, anyways, it was great having you as a guest. John, thank you for finding this beautiful, young, fun person to interview.
Cool. Can I ask Daniel a couple of quick questions before we go?
You do that every time, yeah. I'll edit it out.
Obviously, she's really busy, so she's really in demand, and that's really positive. And obviously, we wish her success, and hopefully she'll come back on sometime in the future to talk about a new film that she's got. But I'd like to ask this question. Daniel, do you like horror films?
I do. I do like horror films.
Yeah, and do you have a favourite?
I'm trying to think. I don't know if this qualifies for a horror film, but the movie Teeth.
The movie?
Teeth, like the teeth.
Not that movie. That's crazy.
Is one of my favorite movies. I own like the DVD box set, like
a vagina with teeth.
It's a movie about a woman that's got vagina detente. What's not to love?
Oh my God, John, you got to see Teeth. You got to see Teeth.
It was made on such a small budget and won Sundance and like a Jury Prize award. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's a fantastic, crazy, messed up movie. You have to see it.
There's one scene, Danielle, that makes me want to grab my own is when it gets bit off and she throws it. Remember in the cave? Was it a waterfall in the cave? What was it?
Oh, yes. My part that I can't even stand is when the dog.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I don't have a male part, but I was like, oh my God, that is so disgusting.
So, John, check it out. It's called Teeth. Teeth.
And the other thing. Grant.
I'm done.
Oh, right. And the other thing, and with Gino's permission, and I asked Danielle the other night if maybe sometime when she's not busy, she might like to join us on her Horror Deadbeats, because we're still looking for a female to break up the boys' club.
Yeah, anytime you guys want to chat, just call me, because it's fun.
Wait, John,
social.
Did you say Gino?
No, I didn't say Gino. I said gruesome.
Oh, I was going to say, wait.
I didn't call you Gino. No, I said to you the other week. You brought up before that we haven't had a female on, and I know it's your podcast, it's not my podcast.
Oh, no, well, no, I didn't say that, no.
All right, it's our podcast then. I don't know, or everyone's podcast, but you said we've never got a female
you're fine.
perspective, and it would be nice, like I said, to stop it just being a all boys club.
Hey, everyone is welcome.
I think Daniel, as she's shown tonight, by being so nice and talking, it'd be fun to have her on.
Yeah, we can talk about teeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
You show your teeth, and then we can talk about it.
Yes. Close your legs and guard it.
Yes. The Rottweilers.
That movie was something else, boy. Oh my God, I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Oh, I know.
My God.
I can't have sex. Yeah. No, can't.
You pissed her off and it gets bit off. Wow, that's a crazy movie. Oh. Anyways, Danielle, I'll add some of that out because I don't want everybody getting all sensitive, but I do appreciate you coming on. Thanks, John, for getting in contact with her, because Danielle, you are a complete surprise for me. I really am amazed at your ability. you're a fun person, and I can't wait. Maybe someday we can work together. You never know. It's a small world now as it is.
It is, and I would love that. Let me know anytime.
Yeah. I will bring something up after the interview because I don't want it to be publicly known. But anyways, Danielle, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, Danielle. It's been really great. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, John, for getting in touch with me. You've been a blast.
Cool.
Cheerios.
Bloke. All right.
Bloke.
All right.
And I won't call you, Danielle, I won't call you a friend. Okay, I'll call you a mucker. We're muckers.
Yes.
Ooh, mucker.
Sure.
It's nothing rude. It's nothing rude.
Sure, John, sure.
Can I call you my bloke? Can I call you a bloke?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So let me go to work. Let me go to work and tell everyone that you called me your bloke. That make me happy.
There you go.
Okay, I'll make it super proper, and I'll even say it with a British accent.
Perfect. All right.
Sounds great.
And actually, real quick.
Thank you so much, John.
Actually, Danielle.
Cool. I'll send you a message if that's okay when we're doing a horror deadbeats, and if you want, you can come on, or if you're busy, then another time.
Sounds great. Let me know.
Real fun
Thank
talking
you.
to you. Really appreciate it. And I really do wish you success, and I know Gruesome would second that.
I second it.
Thank you so much.
I second it. Now, you do British and I'll do the South. I second that. All right, son of a bitch. I like I'm from West Virginia. God damn it, that copperhead almost bit me, son of a bitch.
I'll do Minnesota. Don't you hear?
We can always do Brits, right? Have a good day there, bloke. I'll let you go. Thanks a lot. Take care of yourself. It's great talking to you.
Thank you so much, guys.
And we'll see you
Have
there.
a wonderful day.
Yep, thank
See you later, Macca.
Bye, bloke.
All right, take care, Danielle. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.